Hi, my name is Adam, and today I will be presenting a visual analysis of armed conflict in Africa. The data that was used to construct this report was collected from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project. They are a nonprofit NGO headquartered in Wisconsin. The dataset used in this analysis contains conflict information for African events between 1997 and 2016. The purpose of my research is to understand fatalities from armed conflict in Africa. To explore this vast data set, the first thing I did was create an analysis of fatalities that have occurred by latitude and longitude to highlight a few areas of interest, and then focused on telling the story of these areas in two different ways. First, I did a time series analysis to show how conflict had occurred there over time. Then I performed an actor analysis to show who was responsible for conflict in those areas. The tools I used to put this together were MS Excel, specifically pivot tables and PowerPoint. This is a map of Africa that shows where fatalities from armed conflict occurred between 1997 and 2016. Four areas stick out to me that have been highlighted on the map. The first is a hotspot of conflict between Eritrea and Ethiopia. 102,000 deaths occurred in this highlighted area as a result of a border dispute and ethnic cleansing. The spot that is highlighted next is in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Burundi. Government disputes with rebel forces and ethnic cleansing caused 89,000 deaths to occur here. To the right of that is Mogadishu in Somalia. Terrorism by al-Shabaab and deaths from the counter-terrorist response caused 17,000 people to die in the circled area. The last spot contains more casualties than any other. The areas around the city of Quito in Angola were the site of ethnic cleansing and civil war, which claimed the lives of 122,000 people. There are a couple of voids in the map in the north and south. These areas represent the arid deserts of the Sahara and Kalahari. So how did conflict occur over time in these areas? Angola and Eritrea experienced most of their fatalities during wars in the late 90s. They stopped accumulating casualties at a drastic rate after conflicts subsided. The Dominican Republic of the Congo has seen a linear increase in fatalities over time as a result of unresolved conflict with rebel groups in the region. Ethiopia has a spike from its war with Eritrea, but continued to see casualties after the war during civil unrest, terrorism, and the military response. Somalia has seen an exponential rise in fatalities since the mid-2000s. This coincides with the rise of al-Shabaab and the increase of Islamic terrorism in the 21st century. There's a good news story in all this. Violence in Burundi subsided after the government signed a peace treaty with rebel forces in 2003. Without this treaty, they likely would have had a curve similar to their neighbors in the DRC. The next chart explores who the perpetrators of conflict were in these 6 countries. The military caused almost all of the fatalities in Eritrea and a significant portion of those in Angola and Ethiopia. Rebel groups caused much more death in the Central African nations of the DRC and Burundi when compared to other places. Terrorist activity stands out as a cause of fatalities in Somalia as a result of attacks from the al-Shabaab insurgency. Other groups that caused fatalities include local militias, police forces, and civil unrest. These groups did not cause enough fatalities to be distinctly represented on this chart. There is so much tragedy in Africa, more than can be done justice with this presentation. A decision was made to focus on events in 4 areas that popped out when grouping fatalities by latitude and longitude. Zooming in on the map around Central Africa will reveal places like Darfur in the Sudan, where significant violence occurred over a much wider area. Some key takeaways from this analysis are these areas experienced violence at much different rates over time. The groups perpetrating violence are different among countries but have regional similarity, and that peace and negotiation can make a lasting difference. The success of Burundi in curbing armed conflict should be used as a model elsewhere to reduce fatalities on the continent. Thank you for your time today. Here are the references I used to construct this report.